All right, all right. Good afternoon,
Hello.
Mr. Jed. How are you
Good
doing?
afternoon. Doing great. How are you, Pat?
I'm doing really good in this Monday afternoon. Very a little bit gloomy outside, but still
Mhm.
overall doing well. Considering that Jed, malapit na the Ethereum merge is about to
Yes,
happen.
sir.
Um,
Exciting yan.
and yeah, when I woke up this morning, saw the news that it's gotten ahead of schedule. Just brought a smile to my eyes. How about you, Jed? How are you doing in this Monday afternoon?
Yeah, doing great. Just a bit busy earlier today, but really excited for our conversation with two of our guests.
All right. Everyone listening here right now, welcome to PDAX Fresh Money. Thank you again to all the listeners right now who are tuning in. Our very own and loyal Christian Kaburian, I see you here. And our idol, Jiro Reyes of Bitsquela. Nice of you to drop by,
Mm.
sir. Good afternoon, mga pogi. Correct. Correct ka dyan, mga pogi. But before that, Jed, and before we introduce our guests, I just wanted to reiterate PDAX has now listed 9 new tokens. You got that right from last week. And we did a whole episode about this last Tuesday. 9 new tokens on our mobile app. Jed, if you could help me recall, but I just remember my favorite ones GST GMT of
Right.
Step In, the Move to Earn game, Gala of Gala
Mhm.
Games, Mana of Decentraland, Sand of Sandbox. Siyempre, mga metaverse muna inuna ko. How about, what are the other tokens, Jed, that we have right
Yeah,
now?
most of our launch from last week was primarily metaverse tokens. I covered 5 out of 6. The missing one was the ape token. So it's the governance token of the ape DAO, no? And aside from that, we have a new stable coin in Binance USD and tokenized gold in PAX Gold, and also launched a new layer 1 token in Algorand. So if you guys want to learn more about these tokens, just check out our Spotify where Pat and I discussed all these 9 tokens in depth.
Yes. All right, sir. Before that, anyone listening here in our podcast right now in this webcast, feel free to add suggestions as to what tokens you'd like to see on PDAX next, because we are very much more than happy to explore and list more tokens that you'd like to use. So feel free, just chat in the comment box below any of the tickers that you're interested in. Let us know whether it's L1, whether it's a metaverse token, whether it's your favorite layer 2 token, anything at all under the sun. Let us know, and it would be really much appreciated from all of us in PDAX. Okay, all right. So having said that, Jed, why don't you do the honors? Before you do that, I just like to say, these boys that we're gonna have on stage right now are very close to my heart. Uh, you guys see, I mean, if you're a Web3 participant in the Philippines, most likely you already know these guys because they are super active in the local scene. You see them around in Draper Startup House. You see them all over the place in different events, mostly in offline events as well. And their product is also equally exciting. So please, Jed, go ahead and introduce our guests for today.
Right, will do. So our guest today is two young founders of an up and coming marketplace. They describe this marketplace as something as that is hyper localized, curated, and NFT marketplace. So if you guys want to learn more about this, stay tuned because Pat and I will be picking their brains. So without further ado, let's all welcome Jello and Raf of Likha.
All
Hey
right.
guys,
Hello,
what's up?
hello.
Hello, good afternoon,
GM,
everyone.
GM. How are you
GM,
guys?
Hi.
GM. sirs.
GM.
Doing great. How about you, Pat? How are you doing?
We're doing great as well. Jello Raf, thank you for dropping by to PDAX Fresh Money. Much appreciated. I know you guys are very busy. But first of all, I'd like to know your first experience or journey into crypto. Jello, I think for all the listeners out here, Jello is our CEO and co-founder of Likha. Raf Sevilla is our COO and co-founder as well of Likha NFT Marketplace. Why don't we start with Jello? Jello, how did you first discover crypto and subsequently NFTs?
Yeah. So I think this is also a good time to give a background about myself because it also segues into that. So I've been doing business um, for over 5 years. So I started with reselling sneakers, reselling clothes, and then from there I started distributing different sneaker products as well. And then after that, I started a F&B business. So milk tea nung time na yun na super hype pa siya. So that was back in December 2020. But of course, shortly after, dumating yung pandemic. So from there, it definitely took a big toll on the business. And then I started venturing into e-commerce. No, so one of my partners abroad said na, okay, I will pay you in crypto na lang. And then that's where my first transactional experience um, comes from. And my first was this first platform is actually PDAX. So that was my
Nice.
stepping stone into the crypto world. Um, and I think it's the same with Raf kasi medyo sabay kami nagpasok sa crypto. And then from there, just in between all of that, later on we discovered NFTs, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Right. How
From
about
my
you,
end,
Raf?
so I started very young as well. So it was mostly collectibles, like physical collectibles, like Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So I traded them very young, and I saw the potential in it. Then, same as Jello, ventured into buying and selling sneakers and clothing. And then during college, that's when I discovered stock trading and crypto trading. So in a way, same as Jello, my crypto journey started with PDAX as well. So grew with the platform during the pandemic, and then yeah, here we are. So we'll talk about how we discovered NFTs and Likha later on.
Awesome, awesome. Sobrang interesting. So the entry point, some people actually their first entry point into crypto was actually NFTs. But you guys, your first entry point was in crypto tokens. What was the first ever? I'm just curious. What was the first ever token that you guys owned? Jello, why don't we start with you?
For me, it was Polygon actually, because it was the
Wow.
cheapest at the time, yung gas fees. It was also fast and efficient, so that's what was sent to me. But shortly after, I converted that immediately into Ethereum because
Nice.
Ethereum Maxi. And like you mentioned, September 15, the merge. Very, very excited for that. So, ayun, that was my first token. I'm not sure about Raf's.
Mine is Ethereum actually. So prior to, of course, investing in crypto, I was reading the white paper of Ethereum, and I find it really fascinating. So in a way, I started with Ethereum and then moved to other altcoins like Polygon as well. And then yeah, Ethereum actually. So very excited for the merge.
All right, all right. We
Yeah.
are as well excited for the MERS. Guys, after trading crypto on PDAX platform, how did you guys enter into the NFT space?
Sige, I'll start. So actually, right after crypto, the actual like retail crypto stuff. So that's Bitcoin, Ethereum. We then shifted to um, the more high risk coins. So these are like Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, SafeMoon, those random coins, no? So yun yung first exposure namin to MetaMask. Um, my biggest win was when I invested into Shiba Inu before they publicly announced that they were gonna be listed on Binance. I was so excited pa nga dyan eh. Sobrang bullish bigla and all that. That was a crazy time. Then from there, I stumbled upon Board Yacht Club. That was it was a little above one eat, so it was a sad miss. Pero at the time, kasi I couldn't see the value that it could bring. But further studying NFTs and diving deep into it, I really understood the tech, and that's where I primarily focused my time on really understanding the tech and seeing what I can do with it, especially for the Philippines.
All right.
So
Raf.
same also for Jolo. So with MetaMask, with Ethereum being my first crypto purchase, I discovered OpenSea very early on. So back then, of course, NFTs was kind of a question mark back then. So I didn't fully understand the tech behind it. And then once I studied more and kind of saw the potential and how we can actually integrate it to day life, that's when I saw really like, wow, this is a fascinating space. And then from there, just really kind of like, invested in NFTs that really brought utility, and then just really spiraled down the rabbit hole to what it is right now. Yeah.
Right, very interesting. So I just wanted to ask, since I think majority of people who come into crypto primarily join the space because of the money. They want to make quick money, they want to achieve wealth. But I see both of you that you are not just trading or investing now, but you're actually building something meaningful in the space. So I just wanted to ask, what made you want to build within the crypto industry? So we can start with Channel first.
Yeah. Well, for us, it did start at that, no? I mean, anyone that steps, first time nila sa NFT space or crypto space, the ultimate goal was to really make money talaga, no?
Yeah.
But, co-founding Likha with Raf and Paul and Nico, my two other co-founders, um, we really ventured into this because we're extremely passionate about how NFTs can actually empower, Filipinos, and not just Filipinos but anyone in general. So Southeast Asia and globally. Um, so that's one thing we were looking at. The other thing is really, we were just very fascinated about NFTs and about um, what impact it could bring in the future. So this is what we're definitely banking our time on talaga.
Yeah. And also building to Jello's point, it's really having a positive outlook in the space, no matter what the market conditions are. We're true believers in the tech and what it can do for us in our day-to-day lives, as mentioned. So yeah, just very bullish overall in the space entirely, and we're looking forward for what's to come in the near future.
Nice. Same
Yeah.
sentiment, gentlemen. Personally, I came into the NFT space when people had his
Mhm.
parang that crazy 69 million auction that
Yeah.
really brought my attention, and then started buying into it. Then went into Axie. At the same time I bought some art blocks as well because I really like, generative art, no. But
Hmm.
um let's take a little step back because sobrang interesting to me what you, Jello, and Raf said, no? NFTs have potential. They empower the Filipino, but maybe we should take a little bit of a step back and ask first, no? How do you normally explain NFTs to the layman, to the normal person? And after this, after having sent that message across, how do you make them realize how empowering it could be for their lives?
Right. I think I can start. I think this is a question na not only Raf and I experience, but probably you guys as well. Um, People normally ask, what are NFTs ba? Like, I always see monkeys. Yung sinasabi nila, monkeys eh. I mean, Bored Ape was a pioneer project, so it makes total sense. When people talk about what NFTs are, they often relate that to apes or monkeys. So hindi nila gets yung the ecosystem right now. But what I really focus on when I try to explain it is I really explain the tech. Um, I explain that it's in short it's basically a digital asset na that has true ownership, scalable technology, and is also a trust-centric system. So it's completely decentralized and all that. And then I also give them a scenario. So kunwari, let's say a land title, no? When you lose that land title or let's say deed of sale, there's no way to prove that you're the actual owner. Eh. But if you actually store that into the NFT, ecosystem or NFT blockchain, then that basically immortalizes that for hundreds of years, if not thousands. So even if you lose that, even if it gets torn, crumpled, as long as it's validated in the blockchain that you are the owner, then that's already something for you to hold on to and something you can pass on even to your kids, grandkids, great grandkids. So that's what I do. Basically, a short explanation and a scenario, and almost every time they get it naman. And then from there, they ask questions about environmental concerns naman. So for me, I personally don't deny that there are um, there are how do I explain this? Parang may mga what's the right word? Like there are implications to using NFTs, no? Sometimes nga there are environmental factors to it. Pero it's the same thing as, when you use paper or when you use plastic, you're also damaging the environment. Pero
Mhm.
if we're able to use NFTs for good, let's say we use NFTs to incentivize organizations that actually help marine life, or um, reduce, reuse, recycle organizations, then that's something we can really contribute to and ultimately make the world a more climate friendly and better place.
All
So
right.
that's how I explain and address
Uh,
even the
from
concerns.
my end, it's really kind of like derivation or like breaking down the word NFT. So NFT stands for, of course, non-fungible token. So that fungible word is it's something that you can kind of center on now. Fungible, you can trade something of similar value. Non-fungible, it's very unique. It's one of a kind. It's replaceable, basically. Then you focus towards the tech behind it and what it can do for your artists, your brands, your businesses, and how it can really kind of like perceive a different angle for your audiences or your consumers. And then from there, just really building on value that it's very direct. So if you're an artist or your brand or your business, you can basically just directly interact with your consumer, your audience through your NFTs. And it's highly flexible, it's highly versatile. Through the technology behind it, you can do whatever you may think of through NFTs. And it's something that, of course, it can disrupt the industry because it's something that you can never or we've never seen before, truly. So in a way, that's kind of like just building on to the person you're talking to. And from there, I hope the person will get what NFTs are.
All right. I'll pretend that I'm the at the under end of the conversation, and I'll, hit right back at you. Hope you don't
Mm.
mind, Jello and Raf.
Yeah,
NFTs, they seem fishy to me. They're just a bunch of photos. I'll take a photo, right click, save as. Isn't it just the same thing? What's your answer to that?
okay. You want to go first, Jello?
Oh, sure. I'll
So,
go
yeah,
first.
okay.
Basically, I'd say na it's kind of like owning a, kasi okay, NFTs are basically digital ownership, digital asset ownership, perhaps, no. So okay, let's say you right click save a board ape, but someone else actually owns that board ape, no. You can use that as your profile picture. You can use that as your wallpaper para sa phone mo, whatsoever. But in essence, it's essentially worthless. The other one though is worth millions of pesos. So that's the main point of it. Now they'll probably follow up with a question na, oh, but why is it worth millions of pesos? Because again, I'll reiterate it every time. It's the value comes from what people would pay it for. No, um, and the reason why people buy it is because there's a super exclusive community within that Board Ape project. Um, we have different celebrities who hold Board Ape yacht clubs. We have different uh, institutional investors even who hold Board Ape yacht clubs. So not only are you partaking in a community, but you're also widening your network. No, and you also get to experience different things. Like if you flew to NFT NYC, you would have been able to attend an Eminem and Snoop Dogg concert for completely free. And more than that, intellectual property rights. So if you want to make a business out of the board ape that you own, you want to start selling burgers that are branded with your NFT, then that's one thing that you can do. For example, Bored and Hungry has done that. They've reached um, tremendous sales in America, and now they're expanding into Korea. And I heard from a direct source that they're expanding also in the Philippines. So these are
Wow.
opportunities that basically unlock you to,
Yeah.
unlimited potential.
Yeah, and also building onto that, it's really kind of like understanding the tech behind it. I guess also building to Jealous Point's proof of ownership. So it's verifiable through the blockchain who the true owner is of that JPEG. So it's really the tech behind it that you have to understand further of for NFTs.
All right. Okay. So well said. If I take a photo, right click, save as, it's essentially worthless because the real NFT is stored on the blockchain, and we
Yes.
we can verify who the real owner of that is, and then they could have certain benefits. So, can you expound? So as of NFTs as we know it right now are simply just JPEG still images, but they have some sort of you mentioned Jello a little bit about that, the benefits that you can get from owning a certain piece of NFT. Can you expound further? I'm interested to know. You mentioned some exclusive community, exclusive events. What else can NFTs provide, at least now and also in the future?
Siguro right now on a more um, on a bigger picture or on a more shallow level, no, it can definitely and later on act as your digital identity in the space. If you own a board ape, people will remember you for owning a board ape or that particular board ape. Um, Lots of people have have done that, built their identity through that, remained anonymous in the space, and they're able to express their concerns or their opinions without having to reveal their true identity. So it's essentially building your own digital identity. And again, I want to reiterate, I think it builds a good network for you. So if you own a board ape, for example, we'll always go back to the example because it's easy, no. If you're a builder in the space and you get the validation and the support that you need from that community, not only will you have their voice to promote your what you're building, but even yung mga like even potential angel investors, potential venture capitalists, potential celebrities that might help you endorse that brand. So it ultimately opens you to a wide um, number of opportunities and ultimately give you access to different industries, even if you're just an ordinary person. So that's why I believe also, just building on that, no, na Web3 is really an equal playing field for everyone. Na anyone will have the chance to actually succeed in terms of building and succeed also in terms of making uh, a mega impact on the world. So I hope that answers your question, but I think Raf might wanna say something pa.
Yeah, I think also in a way, it's really unlocking this mass potential on what you can do with NFTs. Because from the community itself, the aspect of community, it's bringing on your audience and building it further through them. In a way, these are people who trusted you from point A to point Z and just really building on towards the space. Through with of course with the value of utility, it's really kind of just opening like unlocking so many worlds and avenues for people to explore new things in the space, and through the value of networking as well, you wouldn't really expect to meet these people in the space given how early we are in Web3, and there's still a massive and like potential still left to be unlocked later on.
Right. Well said, gentlemen. So just to play devil's advocate as well, one of the ethos of Web3 is community. It's also the driving factor of Web3 as well. And one of the things that we really value as communities in, or Web3 in general is inclusivity. But what's interesting is NFTs created token token gated communities. So it's kind of contradictory to what we're building upon on inclusivity. So it really prevents access to these prime communities of the Bored Ape Yacht Club since it's very expensive, the prime communities of the crypto punks. So I just want to hear your thoughts on the contradictory that NFT creates with regards to tokenizing access.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I've been asked this question probably several times already, no? Particularly the inclusivity part. Kasi, yun nga nagkakaroon ng small, exclusive
Group, yeah.
groups and all that. And yes, that's definitely something that is still a gray area, not only in this space, but, just in general, no? Um, pero here's what I tell people, no? Um, Even if some of these NFTs or NFT projects or NFT communities, they create some sort of exclusivity for their holders kasi parang in a sense sometimes that's their way of incentivizing it, no? Um, but uh, I want to say like builders like us, builders like sila Bitsquela, sila um, even PDAX, no? Um, these builders are the ones helping pave that way for more people to jump in. Because for example, NFT project is 10,000 people lang eh. Pero for companies like PDAX, Bitsquela, Likha, and many more, no, it's definitely scalable to another level. It's not a matter of supply and demand, but rather a matter of how much accessibility can we provide, no. Um, so definitely there are lots of problems that still need to be solved in this space. It's not perfect, but you can count on the people working on, you know, fixing that ethos, kumbaga.
Yeah. And also, I think it's onboarding more users to the space. In a way, the barrier of entry for those projects are really high for people to start into. So through like projects like what Jello mentioned, it's really opening doors for everyone to be part of the space. So through platforms like just education and just being onboarded to an exchange, it's bringing like opening the doors down for everyone to be onboarded to the space that we exists. And then it's really opposed to those like kind of mindset in a way of locking doors for people to be in. So again, it's really in the spirit of Web3, inclusion is key, and just really everyone's going to be continuing building, and hopefully we can onboard as many people as possible throughout time. Just
All
see
right.
potential overall in the space.
Well said, Raf. I think this is already a good segue onto the project that you guys are devoting all of your time and effort on, which is Likha NFT Marketplace. But before that, I just like to say GM to Mr. Paul G. Soliman, our very own
GM Paul.
co-founder of Likha.
GM
Uh,
Idol.
Sayang, Paul, you could have joined us here in this party. We're having so much fun. But thank you for tuning in. GM also to Brian Uitepio of YGG Alerts. And of course, our very own Ismael Jerusalem of Only. GM, guys, thank you as always for tuning into Fresh Money. Okay, now let's go on to Likha. So you guys, you've been into crypto, you came in first at crypto through crypto tokens, then into NFTs. Now you've decided to do an NFT marketplace. My question is, what was going in your minds when you decided to take on this huge, challenging venture? Because, guys, creating a marketplace in Web 2 is not easy, more so in Web3. Diba? All of these
Definitely.
adoption issues, Web3 is such a niche industry. It's new, it's very promising, but not everyone still gets to know how to create a MetaMask token, hide their seed phrases, and let alone even do a marketplace model where you have
Yeah.
all of these chicken and egg issues, network effects that you
Mhm.
need to build. What the hell was going on in your minds when you decided to create an NFT marketplace?
Yeah, I mean for us it was really um first of all, we really knew na, you know, building this marketplace will definitely be a challenge. It's not an easy path to take. We could have used our time and resources to just trading and probably making, I want to emphasize it, making short term profits. Okay. So that's, you know, that's one thing we've thought about, no? Pero here the reason why we built a marketplace is because we felt na we could empower yung mga artists, Filipino artists sa space. That was the first main idea that we had for the marketplace. Na we want to give opportunities to different artists to start using the technology in a seamless way, as seamless as possible. That's one point. The second point is also, you know, giving them a stage. Because if they upload their work, let's say on OpenSea, they will have a hard time getting the proper exposure that they deserve. Because again, you're competing with millions, if not hundreds of millions of NFTs in the space. So it's gonna be definitely a challenge for them to make a sale, to market it, you know, to even, you know, get partnered with different galleries, for example, here in the Philippines. Um, so that's one point or one spectrum of why we built the marketplace. The other side naman is for the B2B side. business to business. So we believe that in order for us to start adopting NFTs in a way na we use it, for example, with land titles, deed of sales, business contracts, business documents, it's going to take a while, to be honest, because again, um, there's no relevant adoption to it yet, particularly in the NFT space. So what we believe would work, and something that we're doubling down on right now, is working with retail partners. So these are restaurants, um, mga stores, mga shopping centers. We want to partner with them to incorporate NFT tech into their day-to-day activities, so that in return, these day-to-day consumers who don't even know what NFTs are will start using it already. So we built the marketplace so that it would be easier for us. Kasi if they launch an NFT project with us, it's completely customizable, thanks to our tech. Thanks to Paul Soliman in particular. Pero yes, yun nga it just gives us more freedom and more adjustments in terms of, you know, building a good project for a certain brand or business or artist, whoever it may be. So that
Yeah.
was ultimately why um, we built Likha, and that was the big vision for us. Maybe Raf would wanna
Yeah.
add a little bit.
So again, so for the artist side, it's something that we kind of centered on and then fully built it to what Jella mentioned. But circling back to the artist side, there's so much underappreciated artists in a way that we wanted to have a proper space and like really give them the spotlight that these artists exist here in the Philippines. So in a way, we're hyper localized because currently we're focusing on the Philippines, but hopefully later on we'll be expanding through Southeast Asia. But from then, we just really saw the potential and what NFTs can do to different businesses and different brands. So through our marketplace, it can be centered towards everything will be there. Whatever you may need. So from different brands NFTs and also art NFTs, it's multifaceted in a way that there's a lot of layers of collectibles or NFTs that you can see in our platform. And then from there, we'll also be building on the tech, of course. And yeah, we're very excited for the unveiling of our next product for under Bayani Chain as well. Yeah.
Uy, all right. Later, let's shelve that for later near the
Yeah,
end as an alpha
for
leak.
sure.
So everyone, please make sure that you guys are still tuned in at the end of our episode for more alpha leaks. All right, but before that, guys, so we're getting a lot of questions right now. So please just throw in your questions in the chat. We'll try to answer them later. But before that, I wanted to zoom in. You mentioned two verticals, no? When you decided to tackle the NFT marketplace. Number one is NFT artists or traditional artists. And then number two would be brands mostly in the retail side, no. Um the traditional artist sphere is mostly just, is it physical artists or really digital in nature artists that are more, I guess, easier to translate into NFTs?
It can be both, honestly. So the angle that we're taking towards like approaching these artists is kind of having another avenue for you to express yourself through NFTs. So beyond the canvas, the artists have, of course, like it's limitless possibilities or limitless like potential in what you can do with NFTs. So in a way, we're opening doors for them to be able to express them further through NFTs. And given that it's a global audience, like of course it's open to everyone. They can see that the Philippines is we have these talent talaga in our space. And yeah, through our platform, we're really hoping to onboard as many artists as possible and showing them the potential of NFTs and what it can do for them. I guess like the best angle will be perpetual royalties. So through NFTs, it will be unlocked through the blockchain. So whenever there's an exchange of hands through NFTs, the artists, of course, will forever be funded through the sale of their artworks. In a way, it's something that's existent in the current scene of things in the traditional art space, but it's not really fully pushed. So through NFTs, of course, you're given that as well. So maybe Jello can add more onto it.
Yeah, for me, in terms of digital and traditional, I think we're eyeing both markets, because I feel na this tech, it will cater to everyone and anyone, no. Definitely sa digital artist kasi for example sa digital artist dati, how do they make money? They don't sell the art. They sell the art on t-shirts, on tote bags, on merch that they might have. That was their business. Sa traditional side naman, you're catering to a specific network of collectors here in the Philippines. So, to address sa digital side, no, if you're able to sell your artwork directly to these people, then that would be tremendous opportunity for them. So you imagine mo from selling merch to now selling the artwork itself. I think that starts to make them, um, that really empowers them ultimately. On the traditional side naman, it's more of giving them a stage so that they get more exposure not only in the network that they already have, but also a vast network of art collectors who are already in the space. So for Likha, the goal really is to connect collectors and artists, and just help them, really give them both good opportunities.
All right. That's for the artist side. That's quite clear to me. And thank you for clarifying that. How about for the brands? I'm curious for the retail. You mentioned retail stores. How could a retail store? So I used to run a retail store also before. I used to sell shoes.
Oh,
Shoe business. But for example, consider me as your shoe merchant. I have a store. How would you sell NFTs to me? How can I use Likha for my business?
okay. So for example, uh, you're interested in integrating NFTs um, into your business, right? So what we can do is we can create an NFT collection for you, and also integrate it with a platform where people can claim rewards, different perks and discounts that you might be able to provide. And from there, that's where people get the incentive to actually purchase it. That's the first point. The second point is also brand loyalty. So it immortalizes your brand identity and brand equity, which in turn will help the consumers, really hold a part or a piece of your business. So for example, if you start selling NFTs for your shoe business, let's say every month you get 20% off on a pair of shoes, 'di ba? And then you purchase that NFT for let's say 300 pesos. Eh di balik na yung pera sa kanila technically. So it's kind of like that's where the incentives come from. So for us it's really about presenting NFTs as a reward system versus as an investment. Kasi nga most people are not even interested in investing in the NFT space. We actually got data lang this morning na only parang sa NFT searches sa Google and different sites, only about 1 to 2% have mentioned how do I invest in NFTs. It's always about what are NFTs, what is NFT art, pero wala pang how do I invest in NFTs. So if we're able to introduce that as a means of rewards, then I think it's more appealing to the consumers, to regular consumers across not only the Philippines but also in Southeast Asia.
Yeah. It's also pushing adoption in a way that we'll be able to use NFTs in our day-to-day lives. So, for example, in your shoe business, Pat, so whenever I need a new pair of shoes, whether if it's for running, for school, for office, I can always go back to you since I know that I have a discount, for example, in Jealous example, to your store. In a way, it's customer retention for the business that they can maximize the discounts. And in a way, also brand loyalty really for your end. Now, you'll be able to of course retain the customer base that you have and add more because given these avenue of discounts NFTs are very enticing to them as a consumer. So yeah,
This is actually mind blowing. I'm thinking right now there are really NFTs can be multifaceted, right? So
exactly, yeah,
on the one hand, there's the collectibility of it, the board apes of it because of the art. It's like trading basketball cards or Pokemon cards. Uh, and on the other hand, there's more of a utility driven orientation where you view it as an end to a means mostly. So, ang galing. I'm kind of right now blown away by the many uses of NFTs. I wonder if there's more actually, but maybe you guys can elaborate it in a little bit. But before that, I'd like to maybe let's dig deeper now and provide more details for all of our listeners. By the way, we're getting a lot of questions. Alfie Canono, uh, he has a good question here. I think we should, Jed, we should ask it. Sing it lang natin right now.
Sure. Which
And
one?
Alfie's asking for number one, is it an open marketplace, Likha? Oh,
Uh,
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead and go if you could answer.
It's curated. So right now it's not a free for all marketplace where people can just upload different stuff. And the reason for that is so that we leave a lasting impression to to the NFT market. Pero later on, the end goal is to really make it completely decentralized.
Yeah. It's also building credibility for the projects that we onboard in the platform. So right now, if you browse through Likha, we have our Simula collection comprised of our 8 amazing artists, and you also have CSR partners like Humanity and Save Our Sharks, both that have like a really amazing advocacies behind their NFTs. And then later on, through like later this September and early October, we'll be onboarding our brand partners also in the platform. So very later on, we're gonna like open the Likha marketplace, but in the current scheme of things, it's gonna be curated.
All right. Quickly also by the same guy, Alfie, can you quickly disclose the average fees and commissions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty
So
standard. It's similar to OpenSea's, just 2.5% platform fees. That's it. And also, Jill, am I missing anything?
so if we launch the NFT project for you, um, we get a 10% commission on the first sale. But then right after you get perpetual royalties, for the rest of the time.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a 10% commission on first sale and 2.5% platform
yeah.
fees.
And secondary sales after the first sale, it's going towards the artist or the project owner. All secondary royalties will go to that.
All right. Thank you, Alfie, for your questions. We'll get back to you in a bit. If I may drill down a little bit further on Likha. So it's an NFT marketplace. I got excited by the by the target markets that you were talking about. So medyo we went ahead of ourselves. But Jello, if you could provide maybe just a one line, two line explanation overview of what Likha is, and currently what are you offering right now in the marketplace?
Yeah. Okay. So Likha. I think I want to talk about the mission. No. The mission of Likha is very very simple. It's bringing Web3 into every household, one nation at a time. So the ultimate goal is to get NFTs into the hands of every single consumer, and let them start using it on a day-to-day basis without even having them to fully understand, what NFTs are, because that way that's where we get the exponential adoption that we're always talking about and always trying to achieve, right? Um, so yeah, Likha is a very um, agnostic marketplace, I'd say, because we're open to launching different types of projects. So from art, from business, and also very soon, and I'm sure most of the people have already heard about it, real estate. Um, so we're very excited for that. We have different lineups as well for the real estate. But the only one announced right now is with Nestry Properties under Tyson Builders and Co. So they are a AAA real estate company who has built different hospitals, churches, buildings, and now they're building a resort that is NFT backed and integrated, which we're very very excited about. Because um, I don't know what's more exciting than seeing a resort and saying, "Na oh, this is like NFT integrated." So we're very excited for that. It will be in Zambales, you know. So yeah, that's what Likha is. We're basically builders in this space, connecting. This is a very typical word, typical sentence, connecting Web 2 to Web 3. Pero that's what
Yeah.
it basically is. Raf, maybe you wanna add to it?
Yeah, and it's also for people that are interested on building your NFT project. If you're a brand or a business, we can help you conceptualize on how we can integrate NFTs into your ecosystem. So in a way, it's of course very convenient, very easy for you. So you can just simply ping us in our socials, and we'll ensure that someone's gonna attend to you afterwards. So yeah, you can unlock many possibilities through NFTs and through Lika as a platform.
Right. Interesting. So before I drill down more about Lika, I'm very curious because I think real estate is one of the big unlocks for NFTs. I think it really has a huge potential. But I'm curious, how did the legal side go with regards to real estate NFTs?
Yeah, I think I can shortly address it, and maybe Raf can add to it. So real estate right now, of course, uh, when you're diving into the NFT and crypto space, we have there's a lot of legal gray area, or legal concerns rather, um, that are yet to be addressed by the government. So for example, in terms of like when people talk about fractionalized real estate, it's definitely hard to comply with right now. So I think I can share naman. We will share with you our strategy with Nest3. So fractionalized NFT kasi in essence is basically owning a small part of of a real estate project, and you get dividends in return. So this is like yun nga, monetary return. So it kind of functions like a REIT if you're familiar. REIT is a securities stocks um, in the Web 2 market. No? So for us, what we're doing is we're launching a set of NFTs, which ultimately goes to funding the resort. No? Um, but instead of providing monetary returns, we provide them with different types of incentives whenever they go to these resorts. So what's a good example? Kunwari, if you mint the rarest NFT, you have 10 free nights every single year. Now, if naubos mo yung 10 free nights na yun and you want to avail more, you have 50% off for the rooms, just being an NFT holder. You also have 30% discount or 50% discount sa mga activities there, like let's say learning how to farm, or using their swimming pool amenities and stuff like that. So instead of presenting it as a monetary return, we provide it as a way for more incentives. Uh, Kind of like it's quite similar to the timeshare model. And more than that, let's say lumakas yung business. Let's say the business of Nest3 became really big during Holy Week, and the company wants to incentivize the NFT holders. Our tech allows you to provide more free nights that are claimable. No, so that's technically your dividend. And we went through all the legal matters that might be of concern regarding this, but this is a definitely and completely legal business model. That's why I'm very excited about it. And um, not only does it make it more exciting, but it really targets even middle class and lower class consumers.
Yeah, and it's also something that we've really focused on. We spent majority of our time ensuring that we stay within regulations for this project. And through what Jello mentioned, tune in, like really look out for Nest3 socials, because we'll be releasing the white paper very soon for the project, so you can fully see the expounded details and everything. And it's very cheap entry point, so almost it's really enticing for people, and also given it's real estate, there's a lot of possibilities with it. So stay tuned for the white paper and everything to come.
Right, very interesting. So just to clarify, no, the real estate NFTs, it's not It's more for access to additional promos and um, rewards, right? Rather than something
Yes.
transactional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I see. I
Kasi
see.
dun napupunta yung ano eh, problema.
Yeah.
When you start issuing or when you start promising money or APYs or whatever, that's where it becomes a security. But if you present it as something like, oh, nagbebenta lang naman kami ng rewards card, then it's completely safe.
Understood. Understood. So going back now to Likha, no, I'm curious since there's a lot of NFT marketplace already around the world and even locally, I believe. What makes Likha unique to other NFT marketplaces?
Yeah.
Graph, do you
So
wanna
like
answer that?
Likha is in a way your guarding or like really guard like guiding hand into the Web3 space rather. So we ensure that there's very intimate relationship between whether if you're an artist or a brand or consumer will be attentive of your concerns and your questions in a way that will be your stepping stone into the world of NFTs and Web3. And of course, through Lika, given how kind of like hyper localized we are, we're currently focusing in the Philippines, really want to onboard as many Filipinos to the platform as possible. So through our educational partners like through Bescuela and such, we really want to educate as much people as possible into what NFTs are and how it can be integrated to your day-to-day lives. So really it's gonna be a more intimate experience and the spotlight will be on the projects that's within the platform. And it's gonna be focused on the Philippines as of the current moment.
Yeah. And more than that, our marketplace gives access to flexibility in terms of tech. So, for example, you want to incorporate rewards to your NFTs, done. We have that already. If you want to integrate it into your POS system as a business, we have it as well. That's something we can easily integrate that for, into your business. If you want, let's say, if you want to, kumbaga, connect your physical art piece to your digital art piece, we have that tech as well. If they go to a different marketplace, for example, I think they'd have to outsource yung tech part of it. Now they'd have to develop, they'd have to get a set of programmers. They'd have to probably, start up an actual brand new company. No, so for us, it's really the convenience and really the accessibility to fast tech integration. Because again, for example, si Paul, share ko lang konti si Paul. So Paul is a Microsoft MVP for business applications. He has over 11 years in the 11 years of experience in the blockchain industry. He's worked with different conglomerates and companies in terms of POS integration, and all the other nitty and gritty stuff of an operational business. So with his experience and with blockchain tech, parang if you marry that into two things, then I think it works wonders for everyone.
All right. Singit lang ako, Jed, before you
Sure,
continue
sure.
asking questions about Likha. I'm just curious. Do you guys are you NFT whales by any chance?
uh I wouldn't consider myself a whale, pero we do have one co-founder, si Nico Ke. So he's our chief evangelist officer. um Basically his main goal in our team is really to spread the word of Lekha. Pero he's also a board member of Cyberkongs and Project Gojira. So
Wow.
Wow.
that says a lot. Pero more than that though, he has a bunch of doodles, a bunch of
Does
uh
he have a board ape?
no, he doesn't. Pero he does have yun nga, Cyberkongs and But he believes more on the other projects eh. Pero yes, I'd say he's one of the whales that we have on our team. We do have
Wow.
other team members who have mga blue chips pero baka ayaw nila ipabanggit, so yes. Pero here's what's special about our team. All of us have at least a few months of experience in the NFT space, like actually purchasing NFTs, diving into Discord grinding, whitelist grinding, lahat ng mga cultures ng Web3 and NFTs. Nadaanan namin yun lahat. So we feel our team is more than capable to build a kumbaga a company that will actually solve the current problems of Web3 and Web2.
This is a good segue in terms of problems and Web 2 combining Web 2 and Web 3. Uh so the task that you guys are facing is monumental, to say the least, because again, you're bridging Web 2, Web 3 in a very new asset class. Although it's very, very exciting. I mean, I myself, I own an Azuki, so I'm all for this future. So I applaud you, gentlemen. No? But nevertheless, it's a very challenging road that you've taken. What are the main hurdles that you see right now for NFT adoption, mass adoption?
Ako, I can answer that straight up. It's accessibility. So
Mm.
that's one thing that Likha is currently doubling down our R&D on. Really the accessibility part. So
Yeah,
how do we make kasi right now, okay, let's talk about cashing in, right? Cashing in crypto to purchase NFTs. That's at least 5 OTP codes. Sobrang kakatamad mag-cash in, I swear. But how do we narrow that to 1 or 2 OTPs at maximum, diba? Or
mm,
how do we narrow down in terms of like the different platforms that we're using? Um, so that I think that's the main problem that we're currently struggling with. And people aren't willing to learn it yet. Not everyone's willing to learn it. That's the biggest challenge for me. Because again,
yeah,
okay, I want to reiterate lang or emphasize na imagine mo cashing in takes me at least 5-10 minutes, which is very long versus if you're paying for something in Starbucks or in a restaurant, it only takes 10 seconds. So how do you make 5 minutes turn into 10 seconds? Diba? So ayun, that's what it is for me. And I
yeah.
think that's the monumental problem that we're trying to conquer right now. Raf, maybe you
And
wanna
also for
answer?
me, it's also the educational gap. There's so much gray areas that people see with NFTs that they don't really see the potential or the tech behind it. It's more on what they see through social media or what they heard from their friends without doing their own due diligence in a way. So through Likha also you want to educate as much people as possible, whether if you're an artist or consumer or user in the space, really wanna of course instill the right mindset that these are NFTs, these are blockchain, and this is what Web3 can do for you as a person. So also again credibility in the space. I guess so through educate proper educational platforms, I feel like uh I guess we can establish like the right curriculum on how to onboard people into the space rather than them YouTubing and taking a lot of time to just educate themselves. A proper platform wherein they can just educate themselves through A to Z's of what crypto is or what blockchain is, and then from there they can be onboarded to the space now entirely.
100% agree. Jed, we're overflowing with questions right now. I think we should get on going with that and then go back into our alpha leaking section with the gentleman here. Why don't you do the honors?
Sure, sure. So from Christian Kubrian, what is the most important skill in the NFT space?
Important skill. If you're a project owner, it's providing in a way utilities that's not seen in the space yet. Because innovation happens every single day. The Web3 space moves really fast. So for you to be able to innovate the right utility for your project to really entice your audience, your potential audience to be a true believer in your project, it's something that you really have to dig deep, that you can have and bring these utilities to you as a potential buyer of your project.
Yeah, for me the uh I think an important skill maliban sa tech development, being a programmer god or whatever. I think a very important aspect is definitely being able to spearhead a project really well. So I'd say good leadership. Kasi most people think, 'di ba, parang once you sell out an NFT project, that's it. Most project owners become complacent. Most projects, they enjoy the money na. But in reality, that's your pre-seed round, or seed round mo. So that's your capital to start building and innovating. Um, it's also, I think, one more important trait is being able to think outside the box. Kasi, yun nga, kunwari yung real estate, diba? I mean, we don't want to be stuck forever in terms of um, security issues and concerns, diba? So what if we provide another alternative, diba? That might work and that might be a good starting point so that it can be recognized as something that might have potential in the future.
Great. So next question from the same person. What are the risks of NFT minting?
The risks of NFT minting. I guess also security measures. If you're not educated properly, you can be exposed to these phishing links or these scam links that can potentially, shy you away from the space entirely. So you always ensure that you kind of go to the right credible sources or just really learn the security measures that you have to take before you start minting your NFTs, because it's also something that I experienced early on, that these phishing links do exist in the space, and it's very sad. But once you're educated properly on what to do and really avoid these phishing or scam links entirely, yeah, I guess you're really open and really welcome the NFT space entirely. Yeah.
All right. Sigit na ako, Jed. I really like this question by Benji Florentino. Are you single? Benji, who are you asking? Is it
Recent
me
young Benji.
or or
There's
or
more
any of
people here,
that?
Benji.
Benji is
Shout out Benji.
actually a good friend of ours. Siya yung isa sa mga co-founders ng Axie Capital. If you guys heard of it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I've heard of
Um,
that.
so we're doing different projects together. And yeah, uh, am I single? Single para sa idol. Yun yung sagot ko dyan.
Nice of you to tune in, man. Really like it, that question of yours. Any other questions do we have, Jed?
Yep, just a few more. So same person again. So how does Likha ensure that the user's NFTs are safe?
great question. So we will provide an onboarding manual. So we're currently in a beta phase, but we will provide an onboarding manual for our users that ensuring the security measures that you have to take before you can you can freely scroll through a platform. Because also in our the community discords, we ensure that we're bot free, like really ensure that it's secure, and of course you want people onboarded people in the space to just be free in the space. So education is key for us, and we'll be providing the proper curriculum or the onboarding manual later on, very soon in Likha.
All right. This is a very good question by Alexis Besislao. How do you protect the NFTs inside your platform from being transacted outside your platform or duplicated and transacted in other chains? So I think
Okay.
Alexis is referring to, I forgot there's a technical term for this, but you know, let's say I'm an NFT, I see an NFT project launch on Likha, I copy paste the JPEG and
Yeah.
then mint it on another chain.
Yeah, actually, this is one of the first concerns we had building the marketplace. But the most interesting part is companies like OpenSea, Magic Eden, they're very approachable actually. Na pwede mo palang i-report as a company, you can report if there's a derivative of another work in another chain. So we were able to talk to OpenSea directly, ask some questions in terms of integration or in terms of duplicates or whatever. Same thing with Magic Eden for Solana. So that in order for us to really prevent that, no, it's as easy as just contacting them and letting them know.
All right. That is good to hear. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
Right.
fun facts.
Yeah. I'm learning I'm learning new things every day, especially here in this show. No. Jello and Raf, if I am interested in buying an artwork or an NFT from a brand in Likha, what are the steps? Can you walk me through it and through all our listeners right here? What's the URL?
Yeah.
Is it a website?
So currently it's likhanft.io. So we're currently in our beta phase right now. We're consistently stress testing the platform before we go live. So later on I'll be leaking some of the features we'll have in the platform. But just we have a prerequisite of having a MetaMask wallet. So if you used to play Axie or you're an Axie owner, you for sure have that. So you just simply link your MetaMask wallet in the platform, and then from there you can access the NFTs already, and you can buy it. So we're currently in Polygon, but later on we'll be integrating other blockchains as well in the platform. So yeah, very
All right.
exciting stuff ahead for Lika.
If I'm a collector, I'm going to your website now. What can I buy off the shelf? Is there anything new and interesting? Maybe you're
Yeah.
launching a new artist soon?
Okay, so very exciting because currently in the platform, we have our similar artists comprised of 8 amusing artists that are, from digital and also traditional. And then very soon, one of the alpha leaks that we'll have is we'll be launching our second collection, our Exodus collection, which is comprised of about 19 artists. So these 19 artists provide they're kind of experts in their space in different mediums. So something that I can leak now, but later on, later this month, around third week or fourth week of September, we'll be launching our second collection with our 19 amazing artists.
Awesome, awesome. This is a good segue into our Alpha Leak section. All right, let's get
Yeah,
it started. I hope you have more. Marami pa kayong baon.
for sure. Yeah,
What else can we expect in the near future from Lika?
go ahead,
Okay,
Jello.
I think I can start. So, on the real estate side, so we've already mentioned Nestri and Tyson, but we do have a few more lined up. Some of them handled multi-billion projects here in the Philippines, so that's something we're taking a look at. Sometime, one of them also have owns a patent to a very popular housing model. Pero none of these can be mentioned yet at this time. Pero that's one thing to look at. We're very very excited for that. The second thing is we're also building under Bayani Chain. It's called R-Ward. So basically that is your um, blockchain verification QR scanner. Basically, if you scan a merchant or a store's QR code, they can easily verify if you own that NFT, and you can also claim rewards through that platform. So that's something we'll start rolling out around the end of October, um, and all of these things will all be integrated into Lekha. So
Yeah,
more than beyond that, also we're currently already in discussions with different brand partners, from food to retail to experiential, to really integrate NFTs already. So sabay-sabay yan mag-roll out. So if
yeah,
you start seeing um, NFTs in Mega Mall or in MOA, then that's the adoption that we're all looking
yeah.
for.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in knowing more about our word, you can simply search CAPE 1475. So KAPE 1475. So with Jealous Post, you can see how the tech works. So if you have the NFT, you can scan the QR code and then you can see the utilities that comes with your NFT real time. So you can claim all the benefits and perks in real time. It's backed by the blockchain. So yeah, very interesting tech.
All right, gentlemen. Sobrang exciting with what's happening in Likha right now and in the near future. Uh, right now with Likha, like what is, I guess, the end? You mentioned already, Jello. Your end goal or your vision or your mission for Likha is to make NFTs into an everyday thing, to put NFTs into the hands of everyday people. And I really think I applaud you guys, no, despite the obvious hurdles and challenges, you're making great leaps into it. Super excited to learn more what other developments you have in the near future. Now, right now, guys, you might want to any shout outs or acknowledgments to anyone out here, any people from perhaps your team or perhaps your early supporters.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe Jelly, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to give a shout out to our first and foremost, our co-founders, si Nico, Alex, and Paul. And then I want to shout out, the rest of the Likha team. Everyone's very hardworking, and we're very, we have a very fun working culture. So everyone's enjoying their time over at Likha. So I really appreciate the entire team backing behind this entire project, especially our developers who can do things, in a few days time. I also wanna thank, the companies that have supported us along the way. Maybe Raf, ikaw na lang mag-mention.
Yeah.
Di ko memorize.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, thank you, of course, PDAX, Pat, and Jed for having us. It was a very meaningful conversation, and hopefully, very soon we can have other podcasts together. And yeah, thank you for all the companies who have believed in us and partnered with us. So, I don't want to drop any names, but for sure, you guys know who you are already. So, it's been really meaningful for the growth of Lika, and we're not stopping here. There's more to come, even in the bear market, in the bull market. We're in here for the future. So, just watch for whatever we're building, and yeah, very soon in your restaurants or your businesses near you, you're gonna see NFTs now. So yeah, very thankful for this opportunity to talk about what Likha is with PDAX, and then yeah, just watch out.
Also,
Right.
Draper. Sorry, I just want to add, very important partner for us, Draper. Kasi doon na yung office namin ngayon. So that's where we reside right now. And we do most of our events there as well, particularly for with Christian and Celine. Very good partners.
Mm. Yeah,
I agree. We're
and yeah,
also very interested on how the future of Lika and how it will turn out. Sorry, Raf, what were you gonna say?
yeah, we just thankful for this opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Likewise. So as we wrap this show, just want to ask for the both of you. So far, who and what are you most thankful for in your crypto journey?
Sige, ako I can start. I always tell this to everyone that I meet, no. Um, People are very surprised about me being in this position at a very young age. Pero ultimately the credit is due to particularly to Alex and Paul. These two people were the ones that took a chance on me. They were the ones who entrusted this company to me, and we're very happy with where we're at. We never expected this to be kumbaga, to be this big. Um, pero I really appreciate them. Tapos I'm also very thankful for the support of the entire community. Um, Thank you kasi it's very encouraging. It's what keeps us going ultimately. Um,
Yeah.
Ano pa ba? Thank you din sa PDAX for the podcast talk. It was very fruitful. Thank you for picking our brains. And also to our very close brother, si Patrick. Every time we're at events, lagi tayo nagkukulitan and stuff. So, I appreciate the friendship as well.
No
Yeah.
worries.
For me, it's our partners in Lika and our team. So these are the people who believed in our vision, and we're actually starting to execute a lot of the things that we've been talking about. So it's really heartwarming and of course humbling to see that everyone's supporting us in what our vision is and our mission is. So yeah, thankful also for PDAX, of course. Now I started my crypto journey through PDAX, of course through Pat and Jed for this opportunity again. So very soon, hope to see you guys in different Web3 events as well. Yeah, yeah, keep
For
an eye
sure,
out,
for
lang.
sure.
For
Uh
sure.
Thank you guys for spending an hour and a half with us. We value your time and your insights. But on my end, I just wanted to ask before you go, how young are you, Jello? Because you mentioned that something about your age.
Yeah, so I'm 19 years old, turning 20 next week. So
Okay.
yeah, we definitely have a long way to go. A lot of energy in our
Yeah,
in our system. So we're
So
ready
lots of
to.
youthful
technically,
spirit.
you're still a teenager right now.
Oo.
19.
next
You're
next
still a
week, next week.
teenager.
Next week okay na ako. Adult na
Next week is
ako.
your birthday.
Yes, September 12 in particular.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Advance happy
malapit
birthday,
na.
my
Thank
friend.
you,
Happy
thank you.
birthday.
Yeah, sayang. September 12, 1 week from now, we could have had the podcast exactly on September 12 to celebrate your
Hindi,
birthday.
okay
But
lang.
I don't think you would enjoy that. I
No,
don't
of
think you'd
course.
enjoy
Syempre,
being grilled by us.
I'd love to celebrate it with you guys.
All right. I hope sana may NFTs tayo on your birthday.
Tignan natin.
Airdrop.
Let's see.
Mga
Yeah.
mga NFT ng ano, mga baby pictures ko. Na joke lang.
Oh no. Let's see how much that would be in the secondary marketplace. But yeah, I mean thank you guys. Super nice. Such a pleasure picking your brains, and we are all Jed and I are all for the future of NFTs to empower Filipinos. So
Absolutely.
thank you thank you. And we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, for
Thank you.
sure. Thank you to our listeners as well. Hope you guys learned a thing or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you,
see you
Jed.
Thanks,
soon.
Thank you,
guys.
Patrick.
Thanks, Jed. Thanks,
Appreciate you
Patrick.
guys.
Mr. Jed, how was it?
Yeah, it was a great episode. And to me personally, I really think NFTs is one of the most interesting tech. The possibilities are really unlimited, and Likha itself is showing it. They're really pushing the adoption to the point that it's going to be very common wherein the average user wouldn't realize what they're using is actually an NFT through the reward system. And I'm sure there's many more possibilities. We're just bounded by laws and regulation, of course. But I think it's a very exciting space, and I love how there's so many builders in the NFT community. And I'm just bullish on the Web3 community and builders of the Philippines.
Likewise, my friend. Just wanted to say again, a big shout out and thank you to everyone listening and providing really sharp questions. Like,
Mhm.
there's this guy Alexis Besislao. Like, dude,
Yeah,
you
I
kept
love
on
the
throwing
insights.
bombs, at us. So really appreciate your time and joining us here and providing some insights. No, you really had us stumped at some of your questions. So thank you. To everyone still here, thank you again for tuning in. We hope that your minds were similarly blown as much as I was and Jed's. NFTs in particular, tama ka Jed, no? The possibilities are endless because NFTs are just simply digital property rights on the internet, and it could represent literally anything in the world. So if I always like to say, if Bitcoin is digital gold, and Ethereum is programmable money, then NFTs are everything else. And that is not a hyperbole because it's literally it could be anything else in the world as long
Agree.
as it's a digital object and it's unique and it's scarce and it's non-fungible. So it could be exclusive access to memberships, to communities, to even a physical good, to certain brand, to certain
Mhm.
IPs, to a copyright, to perhaps maybe a specific event or perks and benefits from various brands and corporates. It's basically social capital or culture tokenized in a more
That's right.
liquid form.
Well said.
So um, I am all for that future, and I really love and inspired by all of these, Raf and Jello, and of course Paul, what they're doing right now in the background. In the end, pare, it's all just building. We're in the
Mhm.
bear market, so this is actually the best time to build. And once the bull market comes, every bull market in crypto, tandaan nyo to lahat, no? Every bull market in crypto, the ones that really outperform are those projects that have built during the bear. So, synthetics, Chainlink, they
Mhm.
really reap the rewards because they kept on building during the bear market, and now they're reaping everything. So very excited to for what's to come in the next bull cycle. And Jed, I hope to see you there also. I hope we get onto the next Luna and get off just at the right time
Yes, sir.
for that 100
Pag-usapan
extra.
natin.
Yeah. But again, all everyone listening, please provide your suggestions on to as to what new token that you'd like to have us listed on PDAX. write it down in the chat below. But again, thank you. Thanks so much. Medyo nag-extend tayo. I think we have one more utang, Jed. We need to pick out the winners.
Yes,
So
before
last
we
so
end.
this time I remembered.
All right. So our first winner is Alexis for providing really interesting insights and questions in the chat. Really appreciate joining us in our stream. So I believe you're very new here. So you can claim a reward of 300 pesos worth of crypto by just taking this screenshot and sending it to our Facebook page. Right. Then the next winner is Alfie Canono. So thank you again for joining us. If you want to claim your prize of 300 pesos worth of crypto, just take a screenshot of the stream and PM our Facebook page. Make sure it's the one at the blue check mark. And lastly, our weekly winner, si Christian Caburian. So again, thank you guys so much, Christian, for supporting us in every episode. I'm sure you're familiar with mechanics. You just take a screenshot and PM our Facebook page. All right.
Okay. All right, sir. I think that's it for us. For everyone listening, Versilius Mila Jr. may replay late ako nakapanood. Yes, sir. Just wait for the stream to end, and I think you can just replay it at your own leisure. You can pause and you can rewind, fast forward, whatever you want. So yeah, please, for everyone just tuning in right now, wait for the stream to end, and you can just replay the whole thing. Lots of alpha leaks, lots of
Mhm.
bombs, lots of trading of insights during this episode, which I really, really love. Jed, I just also wanted, before we go, I just also wanted to also give a clue as to our next guest for next
Oh,
week.
yes,
Um,
please.
it's going to be none other than okay. This is gonna be a surprise to you, Jed, because there was a last minute change to the guesting, but nevertheless, it's still a very interesting guest. We are gonna have none other than our very own Jiro from Bitsquela back for
Oh, round
uh
two.
round two. But he's bringing along another friend for a more vigorous dialogue with both of us. Somebody from, I think, in the metaverse side of things as well in Web3. So definitely going to be very interesting. Everyone, please tune in again. Same time, 5 p.m. every Monday. So that's going to be next Monday, September 12th. It's going to be awesome, an awesome conversation. And we're going to learn lots of things from these guys. Again, thank you on behalf of everyone for tuning in to Fresh Money. This is Pat Lau and Jed, my co host. Thank you. And we'll see you again next week.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Bye bye.